Have you ever wondered why some people seem to manifest effortlessly, while others try everything? Visualizations, affirmations, vision boards, meditation, and nothing truly changes? Why is it that two people can read the same book, do the same practices, follow the same methods, but only one experiences real transformation? Today, we're going to explore the real reason why the law of attraction doesn't work for 90% of people. Not in a mystical way, not in a vague, poetic way, but in a clear, grounded, scientific and spiritual explanation that finally makes sense of your life, your patterns, and your potential. So take a breath. Settle into your seat. And prepare for a shift, not outside you, but inside you. Because once you understand this, your entire relationship with manifestation changes. Most people approach the law of attraction as if the universe is some cosmic vending machine. Think something, feel good, receive. But that's not how reality works. It's not even close. The universe is not responding to your passing thoughts or your momentary emotions. It responds to your default state, the electromagnetic signature you carry every day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. And here is the important part. That signature is not determined by what you want. It's determined by who you are. Your identity, your beliefs, your nervous system, your emotional conditioning, your automatic reactions, your inner safety mechanisms. These are the things that manifest your life, not the words you say out loud. Most people are trying to attract a new reality with the same identity that created the old one. That's why nothing changes. Let's look at something scientifically grounded. Every human has two layers of belief: conscious beliefs, the ones you think you have, and subconscious beliefs, the ones your body actually lives by. Your conscious beliefs are formed by logic, goals, and desire. Your subconscious beliefs are formed by emotion, repetition, and past experience. And here is the truth almost no one wants to admit. Your subconscious beliefs always win. Always. You can say, "I believe I deserve abundance," but if your subconscious mind holds the memory of scarcity, instability, and fear, guess which belief has more electromagnetic power? The subconscious one. That's why the law of attraction doesn't work for most people. They want abundance consciously, but their body expects scarcity. They want love consciously, but their nervous system expects abandonment. They want success consciously, but their identity expects struggle. The universe is not ignoring them. They are simply broadcasting two different frequencies, and the strongest one wins. Now, let's look at this from a neurological perspective. Your brain is not designed to manifest what you want. It's designed to protect you from what you fear. It does this through something called the predictive processing model. In simple terms, your brain constantly predicts what will happen next based on what has happened in the past. If your past includes instability, rejection, financial struggle, emotional inconsistency, disappointment, chaos, heartbreak, then your brain will expect those things again, even when you consciously want the opposite. Your brain is trying to keep you safe by keeping your world familiar. This is why people repeat the same patterns, same type of relationships, same type of financial cycles, same emotional habits, same internal stories. The law of attraction does not override your biology. Your biology is part of the law of attraction. Your brain's predictions create your emotional responses. Your emotional responses create your electromagnetic field. Your electromagnetic field interacts with the quantum field. If your predictions are fear-based, your field becomes fear-based. If your predictions are scarcity-based, your field becomes scarcity-based. This is the reality that 90% of people don't understand. Most manifestation teachings ignore one crucial thing. The body remembers. Even when the mind forgets, your body stores every emotional experience you've ever had. Every moment of fear, every moment of shame, every moment of rejection or loss, every moment where you felt small, unseen, unsupported, or unworthy. These memories form patterns. These patterns become identity, and identity becomes your vibrational signature. So if you are asking for something that contradicts your emotional history, your body will resist it, even if your mind desires it. This is why affirmations alone don't work. They speak to the conscious mind, but the conscious mind is not the one holding the trauma. You can't outthink what your body doesn't believe. You have to transform it. Now, let's bring this into the quantum view, because science alone cannot explain the entire picture. Every thought you have produces an electrical signal in the brain. Every emotion you feel produces a magnetic signal in the body. Together, they form an electromagnetic field that is constantly interacting with the quantum field around you. This field extends far beyond your physical body, sometimes several feet in all directions. This means your beliefs are not inside your head. Your emotions are not inside your chest. They radiate into your environment. They shape the probabilities around you. You can't hide a belief from the universe. You can only hide it from yourself. And here is where it gets even more interesting. The quantum field responds to coherence, not desire. Coherence means your thoughts, emotions, nervous system, and identity are all aligned in the same direction. Most people don't have coherence. They have contradiction. They think one thing, feel another, expect a third, fear a fourth, and embody a fifth. That creates a scattered electromagnetic signal, and a scattered signal can only produce a scattered reality. This is why life feels inconsistent for so many people. Let me make something clear. Forcing positivity actually decreases your manifesting power. Most people use positivity as a disguise for emotional suppression. They say, "I'm fine. It's okay. I'm staying positive." Meanwhile, their body is holding tension, fear, insecurity, anger, sadness, all the emotions they refuse to feel. This creates internal incoherence. Your mind says yes, your body says no, your heart says not safe. The universe listens to the body. The universe listens to the heart. This is why negative emotions are not your enemy. They are part of your calibration. They are part of your healing. They are part of what makes your energy authentic. You don't manifest by avoiding negative emotion. You manifest by integrating it. Here's the truth that changes everything. Most people are trying to manifest a life that their identity is not built to sustain. If your identity is built around, "I'm always struggling, I'm not enough, people always disappoint me, money is unstable, life is unpredictable, no one chooses me," then trying to manifest the opposite
creates energetic friction. Your old identity fights to survive. Your new identity fights to emerge. This inner conflict feels like resistance, procrastination, overthinking, self-sabotage, emotional numbness, feeling stuck, cycles repeating, fear of change, fear of success, fear of failure. That friction is the real reason manifestation feels impossible for most people. They are not manifesting from their future self. They are manifesting from their past. In quantum physics, there is a principle known as the observer effect. It states that the act of observing something changes the outcome. But here's what people forget. You cannot observe reality neutrally. You observe it through identity. If your identity is shaped by pain, you observe life through pain. If your identity is shaped by fear, you observe life through fear. And the quantum field responds to the observer, not the intention. So to change your reality, you must change the observer. You must become a new version of yourself before the new reality can appear. This is the moment where most people finally understand. Manifestation is not about convincing the universe. It's about transforming the self that is interacting with the universe. When your identity changes, your electromagnetic field changes. When your field changes, your opportunities change. When your energy changes, your life begins to reorganize with precision, speed, and intelligence that feels almost magical. It's not magic, it's coherence. Every crisis begins with a moment you try to avoid. A moment where the old version of you tries desperately to stay alive. A moment where your identity, your patterns, your emotional memories, all the structures that built your past self, start to crack. And right now, if you're in a crisis, what's actually happening is that your mind is trying to keep you in a familiar reality, even if that reality hurts. Because familiarity feels like safety, and the brain is wired to choose predictability over expansion. Think about that for a moment. Your system would rather suffer in a known place than grow into an unknown one. So when life forces you out of that familiar space, your mind interprets the expansion as danger. Your nervous system rings the alarm. Your emotions flood with intensity. Your thoughts begin to race. And suddenly, you feel like everything is falling apart. But in truth, nothing is falling apart. Something is being reborn. Because the universe doesn't pull you out of a small identity unless your soul is ready for something bigger. This is the hidden architecture behind every emotional collapse. Your crisis didn't come to break you. It came to break the version of you that was too small for where you're headed. And if you let yourself breathe for just a moment, you can feel that truth vibrating underneath the chaos. That whisper that says, there is more for you. Don't look at what's leaving, look at what's trying to enter. But to receive what is trying to enter your life, you must understand the invisible mechanism happening inside you right now. The psychology, the energy, the biology, all moving together like gears in a quantum machine. So let's go deeper. Let's explore what's really happening inside you, in a way science can acknowledge and spirituality can illuminate. Because the moment you see clearly, the crisis loses its power, and your expansion begins. There is a point in your transformation that few people talk about. A point where your old identity has already died, your new identity is not born yet, and you are standing in the empty space between worlds. This empty space is what neuroscientists call the predictive error gap. The moment when reality no longer matches your old internal model. Spiritually, we call this void, the dark night, the quantum gap. Emotionally, it feels like anxiety. Energetically, it feels like confusion. Physically, it feels like exhaustion. But this gap, this uncomfortable, terrifying space, is where your soul is rewriting itself. You are not broken. You are recalibrating. You are receiving new instructions. And the reason it feels so deeply destabilizing is because your brain is losing the ability to predict your future based on your past. The patterns that once defined you don't work anymore. Your inner compass is spinning. You can't go back, and you don't know how to move forward. But what if I told you this moment is the most sacred moment of your evolution? Because this is the place where potential is pure. This is the space where new timelines open. This is the exact frequency where you get to choose consciously who you want to become now. Not the version of you shaped by survival. Not the version of you shaped by your past. Not the version of you shaped by fear, approval, or expectation, but a version of you shaped by awareness, by choice, by intention, by truth. This is where your quantum jump begins, not when everything gets better, but when everything becomes unstable. Because instability is fertile ground. Instability dissolves illusions. Instability cracks open attachments. Instability makes space for authenticity. Your crisis is not a mistake. It's a recalibration. One of the most painful parts of a crisis is the feeling of being disconnected from your future. You can't imagine what comes next. You can't feel excited about anything. You can't see the path. You can't access hope. This happens because your nervous system is still wired to the old version of you. The brain works like a prediction machine. It only allows you to feel futures that match the emotional patterns you're currently living in. So if you are living in fear, you can only imagine futures that contain more fear. If you're living in loss, your brain can only project more loss. If you're living in uncertainty, your mind can only see more uncertainty. This doesn't mean you don't have a future. It means your state is blocking your perception of it. That's why crises feel like endings. Not because your future disappeared, but because your emotional state temporarily closed the door to it. So your life is not falling apart. Your emotional chemistry is simply tuning you out of the frequency of the future that already exists for you. Once your state shifts, even slightly, your vision of the future starts to return. You don't need clarity. You don't need motivation. You don't need certainty. You just need a shift in emotional frequency. The moment you breathe differently, think differently, respond differently, you begin signaling to your brain that the old identity is no longer running the show. And the quantum field responds. There is a moment in every transformation where something invisible begins to shift. You start to feel lighter. You start to feel a little more detached. You take things less personally. You stop fighting the old. You begin accepting the unknown. It usually happens in a tiny moment, a breath, a realization, a new thought that wasn't available before. This is the moment where your future self makes contact, where the identity you haven't fully become yet begins to pull you forward instead of you trying to push your way out of the past. This pull is subtle at first. A slight sense of curiosity, a small rise in energy, a feeling of maybe there's something more, an inner whisper that says, keep going. That feeling is real. It's biological. It's energetic. It's spiritual. Your brain is literally opening new neural pathways. Your heart is shifting its electromagnetic rhythm. Your field is reorganizing. Your identity is updating. This is not metaphor. This is physiology. This is quantum biology. This is consciousness evolving. You are not imagining it. You are meeting the version of you that exists on the other side of this crisis. And that version of you is stronger, clearer, freer, deeper, wiser, and more aligned than anything you've been before. Let's talk honestly for a moment. Every time something leaves your life, a relationship, a job, a belief, a chapter, a sense of identity, your mind immediately asks, why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong? Why does life keep taking things away from me? But what if it's not being taken? What if it's being cleared? What if the universe is removing everything that is too small, too heavy, too misaligned, too limiting for the person you're becoming? Nothing in your life is allowed to stay once you outgrow its frequency. And when you expand, anything or anyone that cannot expand with you must fall away. This isn't punishment. It's physics. Two frequencies that no longer match cannot coexist. Your evolution naturally creates separation. Your growth naturally creates friction. Your expansion naturally creates endings, not because you failed, but because you graduated. Your soul is stepping into a higher field, and everything that belongs to the lower field simply dissolves. This is why crises feel like loss, because you're watching the old world fall apart before the new world becomes visible.
But trust this, everything that left was clearing the space for everything that's coming. You are not supposed to have all the answers right now. You're not supposed to know exactly who you're becoming. You're not supposed to force clarity. You are in the middle of a recalibration. You are in the gap. You are in the void. You are in the quantum rewrite. Let yourself be here. Something inside you is aligning. Something inside you is upgrading. Something inside you is preparing for expansion. Your crisis is not the collapse of your life. It is the collapse of the limits around your life. And soon, very soon, you're going to feel the shift from breaking to becoming. There is a moment in every transformation that feels almost supernatural. A moment where you suddenly realize, I survived the part I thought would destroy me. A moment where the emotional storm begins to calm, where the panic softens, where your breath becomes deeper, where you feel yourself returning to your body after being lost inside your own mind. This moment is not random. It is the first sign that your system is integrating the change. What felt like chaos was actually recalibration. What felt like falling apart was the restructuring of your inner world. What felt like losing control was your soul taking control in a new way. There is something incredibly powerful happening inside you right now. Something you might not fully understand yet, but something you can absolutely feel. a quiet strength rising, a deeper clarity forming, a sense that you can no longer go back to who you were, a knowing that your future is opening. And if you're listening closely, you can hear the shift. There comes a moment where you stop resisting, where you stop clinging to the old version of yourself, where you stop trying to control outcomes, people, timelines, and expectations. Not because you gave up, but because a wiser part of you woke up. You begin to move differently. You think differently. You breathe differently. Your internal posture changes. You no longer shrink to fit old spaces. You no longer bend to keep old versions of yourself alive. You no longer ignore the parts of you that have been whispering for years. This is the moment where becoming begins. It's subtle. It's quiet. It's powerful. Your actions start aligning with the future you're stepping into instead of the past you're breaking away from. Your intuition gets louder. Your emotional reactions get softer. Your clarity returns in waves. You start trusting the process, not because someone told you to, but because something inside you remembers. You begin to notice signs, synchronicities, moments of alignment that seem too perfect to be coincidence. Opportunities appear, conversations shift, people enter your life who reflect the person you're becoming, not the person you were. This is the universe responding to your internal upgrade. This is the quantum field reorganizing around your new identity. You are not just healing, you are evolving. And soon, you'll see why your crisis had to happen exactly the way it did. There's something I want you to know, and it's something most people go their entire lives without realizing. Your life is always trying to grow you, even when it hurts, even when it's confusing, even when it feels unfair. Life is not neutral. It is not random. It is not passive. Life is intelligent. Life is responsive. Life is deeply invested in your expansion. And every time you resist your evolution, life increases the intensity, not to punish you, but to awaken you. Until one day, the discomfort becomes so loud that you finally choose to let go of the version of yourself you've outgrown. Every crisis is a doorway. Every collapse is a creation. Every ending is a correction. Every loss is an alignment. And if you look closely at the chapters of your life, you'll see that everything you are today was formed inside a moment you thought you wouldn't survive. You didn't just get stronger, you got deeper. You didn't just heal, you transformed. You didn't just change, you expanded. And this crisis, the one you're living right now, is simply the next chapter in that same pattern of evolution. You are not done. You are becoming. Let's talk about the version of you that is forming right now. The you who is less reactive, more conscious, more grounded, less afraid, more aligned, less attached, more in tune with your intuition and purpose. This version of you is not a fantasy. It's not a dream. It's not a distant possibility. It's a neurological inevitability. Your brain is literally rewiring. Your emotional patterns are resetting. Your nervous system is reorganizing. Your field is recalibrating. This is why you feel different. This is why you can't connect to old patterns in the same way. This is why certain people no longer resonate. This is why old habits feel heavier than before. This is why your soul feels restless. You're not lost, you're upgrading. You're not breaking, you're releasing. You're ending, you're evolving. And the moment you stop trying to resurrect the old identity, the new one begins to breathe.
You can feel it in small moments, in the calm you didn't expect, in the clarity that appears without warning, in the sudden knowing that you're meant for more. This
is the future version of you calling you forward. Not pushing, calling. Not forcing, inviting. Not demanding, guiding. And when you finally choose to follow that pull, your entire reality begins to shift around you. There will come a day, sooner than you think, when you will look back at this exact moment in your life, and you won't feel pain. You will feel gratitude, because you'll see that this was not the moment you fell apart. It was the moment life stopped letting you live below your potential. This crisis forced you into expansion. It pushed you out of an identity that was too small. It dissolved relationships that were misaligned. It broke patterns that were limiting you. It ended timelines that were draining you. It removed doors that were not meant for your future. It put you on the path you were always supposed to be on. You didn't lose your stability. You lost your cage. You didn't lose your old life. You lost what was blocking your new one. And once you understand this, truly understand it, your relationship with pain changes forever. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And you start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" And that question alone shifts your entire frequency, because now you're not resisting the transformation. You're participating in it. You're aligning with it. You're embracing the unknown not as a threat, but as an invitation. An invitation to become the version of yourself that your soul has been trying to guide you toward for years. This is your quantum leap, not a jump into the sky, but a jump into yourself. If you're still here with me, if these words reached something inside you, if you felt seen, understood, or supported in any way, then I want to invite you to stay close. Because you are on a journey of awakening, a journey of self-awareness, a journey of evolution, expansion, and inner truth. And you don't have to walk that journey alone. Here, in the Quantum Room, we explore exactly this: the science behind your transformation, the spirituality behind your healing, the consciousness behind your identity, the energy behind your evolution. So if you're ready to go deeper, if you want guidance, clarity, and real tools to navigate your expansion, if you want to understand your mind, your energy, your emotions, and your higher self, then take a moment right now and subscribe to the channel. Not as a number, not as a click, but as a commitment to yourself. A commitment to meet the version of you that is waiting on the other side of this crisis. A commitment to keep growing. A commitment to stay awake. We are building a space for people who want to transform from the inside out, with awareness, depth, honesty, and truth. So welcome. Truly, you're exactly where you need to be, and your story is just getting started.